Gonna stream this. All right, well, first off, thank you everyone for being here today for our media briefing. I want to kick off today by following up on some information about the Sparks funding that was available that we talked about last week. As you recall, last week, the portal was open so folks in our business community can look at the requirements, but the application wasn't available yet. Now the application is available. So Sparks stands for Strengthening People and Revitalizing Kansas. Last week's the Sparks Task Force announced 9 new grant opportunities providing $130 million in total relief for Kansas businesses. I want to communicate that it's extremely urgent for Wichita businesses to apply for these grants. We want to make sure that Wichita gets their fair share of this grant money, and it is first come, first serve. They can help our local companies recoup the losses for COVID-related expenses such as masks and other personal protective equipment, manufacturing costs, capital expenses such as payroll and utilities, and more. We expect these grants to run out pretty much very fast. So it's critical that our local businesses apply and prioritize this as quickly as possible. Go to kansascommerce.gov/COVID relief as soon as possible to apply. The applicants were started becoming accepted yesterday. Each application has a common set of questions plus sector-specific items. Goal is to be user-friendly, streamlined, and transparent. As the largest city in the state, it's important that many of our businesses and nonprofits also apply. Again, we want to make sure Wichita gets its fair share. You can email any questions about the grant application and eligibility to backtobusiness@kansas.gov. So it's backtobusiness@kansas.gov. They are also hosting a chat line for the next week to answer any questions that people might have. So you can get your questions answered quick. Like I said, it's pretty important that we get the word out for this program so that our businesses know it's there, but also can apply and receive the relief that they would need. So fill in the gap. Every year during the last week of summer and over spring break, our neighborhood resource centers participate in a Filling the Gap free lunch program for children. As many of you know, the Fill in the Gap aims to ensure that kids don't go hungry while school is out. There is no paperwork or ID required to partake in this program. This program prepares enough meals for every child in a household and will be provided to either the adult or children who come and pick them up. The program runs from August 31st to September 4th on Mondays and Wednesdays around the lunch hour. And I think we have the locations that should be popping up right there. Okay, so you can find the Fill in the Gap program at any of our neighborhood resource centers, such as Evergreen, Atwater, and Colvin. So for a full list of times and locations for Fill in the Gap, go to for our partners at wichita.gov or call. Like I said, that we got the number up there, but you can call 316-263-1389 for more information. Also, our neighborhood resource centers have a free mask to anyone who needs them. So if you're someone who still needs a mask or needs an extra mask, please go to one of our neighborhood centers and we'll be able to provide that to you for free. We have a large supply, so be sure to grab one when you are there. Which brings us to the mask order. So speaking of masks, the county commission ratified an order from the county's top health official, Dr. Menz, allowing bars and nightclubs to reopen at 50% capacity, and they are to close at 11 p.m. It also extends to children aged 5 and older and being required to wear masks. This is consistent with our mask order here, or our mask ordinance here at the city level, that also the ordinance coincides with the plans for schools being reopened with USD 259's plan. Again, if you have any medical reason to not be able to wear a mask, you are not required to wear a mask. For obvious reasons, we don't want to force anyone to wear a mask if medically they cannot do so. So we're pleased with the county's decision to public health and to decision. Sorry, we're pleased that the county has taken its position to help further our public health, and Dr. Min's urging that we can't let up on the steam, especially right now. We're starting to see the numbers level off, and we want to ensure that we can start bringing those numbers downward. As I'm sure many of you have read on our hospital call on Monday, our hospitalization numbers are actually one less than they were last week, but we're seeing for the last few weeks a leveling off, and our goal is to get down into single digits. So we're not out of the woods yet, and we need to do all we can by wearing masks so we can keep not only ourselves healthy, but also our community healthy, so that we can get back and running at full capacity again in the near future. And that's going to take all of us participating. With that, I will open up to questions. You guys can ask me anything.
Regarding the Sparks, this is kind of a twofold question here. First of all, the grant money, is that something that these businesses have to repay, or is it, how does that work?
The details are better served for the, for the, those type of details are going to be online. I also have some information here if anyone wants further information. My understanding is that there will be both loans and grant money. And I believe the difference is grant money, there will be conditions in which you might not have to pay it back. So that's a more detailed question that gets into, I guess, the packet here, and I'll be happy to share this with you if you guys are looking for that information.
So we've heard from some businesses that obviously they've spent a lot of their money that they got to put up plexiglass and put the stickers down and try to make their place as safe as they could. But at the same time, they're really right on the cusp of closing their doors. I guess what can you tell those businesses?
Make sure, and really kind of gets to the point of mentioning this program. This is a state program, not a city program. We also have the county who are stepping up with their own programs. It's so important, though, to remind folks to look into these resources. One of the things when I reach out to small businesses, or they reach out to me either through my small business council or just more organically online, is not everyone knows that there's resources still available or where to find those resources. Our friends over at the Wichita Chamber of Commerce has done a really good job centralizing a lot of that information on their website, where they will have a list of not only federal programs or money that can help out, but also the local and state programs. So one of the things that we need to do during this time is to really work together to get the word out so that we can save some of these smaller businesses. Again, COVID, I don't even know the best words to describe how difficult situation COVID has put our economy in, our public health. Like it's literally a once in 100-year situation, and we know that folks are hurting. I personally think that hopefully DC, when they get back in session, they can do more to try to provide some more assets for our businesses and for our economy. Right now, cities and states, we weren't really designed to handle a global pandemic, and we are using every tool we have to address this. But unlike Washington, we have to balance our budgets. We only have so much resources. Like last week, you guys got to come out where we did the open air program. We still need to be talking about that, where if you are a restaurant or a bar or even a retail store and you want to expand out onto the sidewalk or onto a parking lot to allow social distancing, make a cool environment but also a safer one, our process to get that done is seamless. It's painless. We can turn around a permit for you to do that in less than 2 days and allow that to happen. That's in our wheelhouse, right? That's in our toolbox that we can offer to try to get businesses what they need so they can get to the finish line on the COVID crisis. More questions? Is that it? I'm just getting warmed up. That was painless, guys. Thank you for being here. If you do have any questions during the week, obviously just reach out to me. I'm always available for interviews or for just giving background information, anything we discussed today.
Thank you.
Thank you.